What's up? BigHerc916. Positivity, motivation, never settle for average. You know, we do it over here. I've made some mistakes in my life, and some of the choices I've made haven't been the best choices, but I've learned from them choices. I take responsibility for my actions and I hold myself accountable. Now, when I share these videos, trying to lace you guys up on different aspects of life that I've experienced, I try to add in things that I think would have influenced me at certain times in my life so I could have made better choices. One of those things is having a father figure, a strong male role model in my life during a time where I felt like I was lost, looking for guidance, trying to find my way. 12, 13, 14, 15 are critical years in a young man's life where he needs to have a strong male figure on his ass, uh, guiding him, checking him, putting him in his place in the sense where he's showing him love, but also letting him know that there are certain responsibilities and things that he has to start being accountable for. Because a lot of young men these days, they don't understand accountability. I see these young men doing things that they think there's no consequence for, and then when they get caught, they want to scream for their mama. They want to talk about that the system is set up for them, but the system is just a system, and it's been there for decades. And the thing about the system is it's always waiting for you. It always has a place for you. Whenever you slip up, it's there to catch you, embrace you, show you that love, the love that your parents didn't show you. So your parents, it's critical that they step their game up, that they go to war with the system by exposing you to opportunities, showing you love, making you upset because they have you doing things you might not want to do because you want to hang out with your friends and run the streets. That's what your parents are supposed to do. Your parents are supposed to be parents. They're not there to be your friend. They're there to guide you and be a perspective that when you get older, you'll be like, wow, I remember when my parents told me I shouldn't do this, or I had to break up with that girl, or I couldn't hang out with those friends. And I know why now. Because your parents have been on this planet longer than you have, or your uncle, or your grandfather, whoever it is. And by default, those individuals should have acquired knowledge that will help guide you because they've been there already. And that's one of the most important sources of information that you can fall back on when it comes to trying to figure out what this world is all about. Social media, the algorithm, you can fall into just a bunch of bullshit rabbit holes and get caught up in what you think is reality, and it's nothing but people pretending. You don't know what's real and what's fake anymore. But one thing you do know is that hopefully if you have good parents or somebody in your family who has a level of success or some type of moral foundation, fortitude, value system, that if they can give that to you, you could be more successful than your previous generation. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, oh man, everybody that does good and studies hard and gets good grades, goes to college is gonna be a millionaire. It doesn't happen like that. It's not everybody's gonna be a millionaire. Some people are geniuses and they maybe can compose music, or they're just super smart engineers, and they might fall into a job, and who knows, they might not ever make more than six figures a year. But it doesn't mean that they're not successful. They might not even have a social media platform with followers, but it doesn't mean they're not successful. There are a lot of things beyond social media that reflect accomplishment in life that goes beyond followers, likes, and subs. But we've gotten away from just these core values that we should get first from our family, our parents, that helps put everything else in a perspective. And it's all about talking, communicating. There's nothing wrong with listening to other people give advice, but just make sure you take advice from the right people and not the wrong people. Because some people are there to steer you in the wrong direction, and other people are there to guide you in the right direction. But these are choices you got to make. You make a bad choice, you got to live with that decision. I used to be upset, like, why did I make those choices? And, you know, how could I have listened to this? Why didn't I figure this out sooner? And it all boiled down to me having made prior bad choices that led to other choices that just compounded into a worse, or a choice that turned into be a horrible choice with a horrible result. That's why it's good to have people that you can talk to that tell you something you might not want to hear, but make you think twice about a choice you might make that's not the good choice or not the right choice. Sometimes it's not about the bag, man. It's about your choices in life and what those choices entail. But, I just sit here sometimes and think about things I could tell a younger version of myself. And I feel that by sharing it with you guys, I can impact somebody listening to this video looking for someone to maybe say some words of encouragement or ins- inspiration. And I know at times if I would have had maybe certain words of encouragement in a direction or some type of guidance or advice, maybe I would have made different choices. But I had to have gone through everything I went through in order for me to be here today, which is maybe who I am. So I can't really be upset about that. But then again, there's times I wish I would have stuck with some other stuff I was doing that didn't entail criminal activity. But shout out to all you guys out there who support these videos. And I just want to let you know that you can't blame other people for your actions. You're going to have to start taking responsibility. And if you have enough sense to understand what blame is, and you have enough sense to understand that before you do what you're going to do that you intended to blame somebody for, you don't have to do that thing. So you don't have to worry about blaming them. And you could actually feel good about yourself rather than blaming somebody for something that you're mad that you did that you shouldn't have did. BigHerc916. Subscribe to the channel. Pick you up some merch. What's up? BigHerc916, and I would like to introduce you to Little Herc's Big Lessons. My wife and I decided to come out with a children's book series that encourages young children to be strong, to make good choices, and also teach valuable lessons. Lesson 2, Speak with Strength. At school, Little Herc's classmate Maria looked upset. The bigger kids were teasing her about her artwork. Hey, Little Herc said, stepping forward. Maria's art is awesome. Let's show some respect. The bigger kids shuffled their feet and walked away. Maria smiled at Little Herc. Thanks, Herc. You're always brave enough to stand up for what's right. Little Herc felt proud. Speaking up is what strong people do. You can pick up the book, link in the description, share it with your kids, and teach them valuable lessons. What's up? BigHerc916, and never settle for average. Go to BigHerc916.com and pick you up one of the new hats on the website, or message me if you want one of the limited edition t-shirts, because I know you guys ain't average.